Hey, what up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome back to a new episode of The Road to Glory. Now, I left you at the end of the last one, or the last couple of episodes have been me unlocking the various pink cards, however you go about that, whether it be SBCs, weekly objectives, or the daily knockout tournament, which was the last episode where we got Mendy. So there are new weekly objectives, or where we need to actually get more pink players. There are two more up for grabs, and we're going to be able to get one in this episode. This is just me cashing in, by the way. I said if I was able to get Diao, I would do, and obviously I was able to do that off camera. So that means up to that point in time, I've unlocked every single possible pink player, and randomly from a pack that I got from a weekly objective, I packed a man of the match. Like, it's an untradeable pack, and it's a player which I'm not interested in using ever. So it's sort of, and he's low rated, so he's not even good for an SBC. So it's like the most pointless special item that I could have ever packed, but it's kind of cool, I guess, you know, out of a random untradeable weekly objective pack, I got the orange flares and packed what is my first orange card over on this account. So that's pretty cool. I don't even know if I packed an orange card on my main account. I actually don't know if I have. Anyway, guys, if you do enjoy the Road to Glory today, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button. Really looking for your support. Yeah, let's aim towards 1,000 likes as always if you guys are feeling generous. So I'm just showing you stuff that has sold, hasn't sold. Another FUTWIZ player came out, of course, that was super cheap to get. If you didn't go ahead and get yourself... who is he? What's his name? Ivanovic. If you didn't go out and get Ivanovic, you definitely missed out, because I pretty much had everything in the club. I had to go out and buy like literally one or two things just because I had chemistry on certain players. Like I just wanted to use stuff from my club as much as I could. So it just led me to go out and buy one or two to make up the numbers. And we get Ivanovic. Like, he's a high rated for a pink player, 82 overall. That doesn't ever matter though. As you can see, we've now got 9 players out of a possible 12. And well, we will continue on our journey onwards to actually unlocking more pink players to unlock as the blues that we want. So I also decided to do this week's marquee matchups a little bit earlier than I normally would. I know that this video comes out on Monday, so marquee matchups is nearly over. And if you haven't done it yet, pretty good time to do so, because I found it to be really cheap, especially like this first one. If you've got the Zenit players or whatever, then you can pretty much use bronzes from your club, which I'm sure you guys will have. Saves a few thousand on what the actual SBC overall would cost. I just found it to be a cheap marquee matchups this week, and I feel like we got given a cheap marquee matchup, sort of 25k if you had to buy everything, and I feel like we got given that almost because of, like, I guess they realised what they did last week, which was the whole Fellaini thing, which wasn't a great idea because it made marquee matchups very expensive, and from that it's led to a decent rewards. Like some of the packs you get from this, to be able to do one of these SBCs and get the prime gold players pack as the overall reward for the MMs has made this one worthwhile. Like, you pretty much don't have to pack anything of real note to be able to make your money back, because there's a lot of player packs here, which means even at discard value, or, you know, just trying to list them up on the market, sell them for minimum, that you are likely to at least make your coinage back. And of course, there's a couple of good packs, which means there's a chance of packing something big. We didn't do that in the first pack, but we do get ourselves a catalyst, which I think is like 1,000 coins. All going to be helpful. Like, I don't necessarily ever use catalyst, so I was fine to stick that one up onto the market to get rid of that and get some coinage. You can see I'm at about 100k, so I think I started at about 115, maybe nearly 120k this episode. So as you know, that's how much it cost me, about 20,000 to actually buy everything that I needed. And I'm sure we can make that back, even if we don't really pack anything. Just look at the amount of players there are in these packs right here. You guaranteed to make it back, right? Surely, especially when you get boards. Our board today was Polish right back. It was Piszczek. For a split second, I was like, oh my god, just show me the striker and then Bayern, and we would have got Lewandowski, but it wasn't to be. But we actually got 283s in that pack, and, well, you know, the silvers, the bronzes, everything was rare in that mixed pack, so that was useful. And then I think that might have been the prime players pack right at the end there, which unfortunately we don't get boards from, but we do get a bunch more players that can go up onto the market to help easily make our coins back. So these are the 2 new weekly objectives that I was on about, or some of the new weekly objectives. We need to win 2 squad battles matches on a minimum professional. Well, I play it on legendary anyway, so that's easy. And as you can see here, you know, this is just me showing you the result from the 2 squad battles matches that I actually played. And I did a little bit earlier on in the week of squad battles because I needed that. I think. Did I do that? I think I did that in order to unlock Diara, maybe? I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. There was a reason why I played some squad battles. It might have been to get certain goals. I actually can't remember. But we're sitting like at the point where we're at like gold 2, gold 1, and we'll likely, you know, I've got some rewards late last night. They'll be in the next episode. You know, half decent rewards, a few coins, all of that sort of stuff. And of course, this is now where we sit. We just got a Choa for doing those 2 squad battles matches, so we now have well, 10 out of a possible 12. So the other one from this week, the objectives, I won't be getting in this video because it requires me to play 16 games across FUT this week, and I've made this video at quite short notice, well, across a few days, but I needed to get this one out and not play any more games. Didn't have any more time to play games because at this point in time I'm actually not in this country as you're watching this. I won't be in England, so going away for a little something for a couple of days, which is really exciting and interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you about it at some point in time. But you see, and I bought Alessandrini. So buying Alessandrini means one thing. It means that I want to get this ZLATAN. And I'm fed up. I was going to hang on until like the next episode, until we've got all 12 of these items to unlock or whatever we want. I could have got Alexis. But I decided, you know what? And I actually put a Twitter poll out as well. So I wanted to take your guys' opinions. And like loads and loads of you voted that I should get the likes of ZLATAN, Keita, balde, diao, and like Wendell or a pack instead of getting just one Alexis. So I took that little bit of info and some, you know, that advice that you guys had given me and that vote, you know, that had gone literally like 65% to 35% is what you guys voted in favor of me getting the likes of ZLATAN and that. So we'll get him. We'll also get Keita, balde. I don't quite have enough. I only got like one left at the moment, and that's Diara, and I kind of want to keep him. I saw Nep say something about maybe keeping Diara is not a bad shout in case you need like a special French PSG player for a possible Mbappe in the future. I don't know. It could be a good shout. So I'll likely keep him unless I don't have the time or I don't actually unlock the 2 that are remaining. There are 2 remaining, so there's one from weekly objectives, and the other one, I guess we'll get an SBC at some point. We might have had it by the time this is up, I'm not too sure. But this is my new squad, so it's not like final or definite or for good because I haven't sold the likes of Salah and Son and stuff. Like, I still have my other main squad. I just had the coins and got these new SBC players, and I thought I would put something together, and I think it actually looks really good. So the idea isn't to play it like this because Keita, balde would be in midfield, and I don't think that's a good shout at all. You can see his stats right there, by the way. It actually looks like quite a beast. Eventually I'll get a chem style on him, probably finisher or something to get the old long shot stats up and to boost the strength as well. I think that's definitely the route to go for. And then if I can get the likes of an engine or a hunter or something with pace for Ibra, that could obviously be good as well. So the idea behind this squad is that it will be played as a 4-2-3-1 or possibly just the 4-1-2-1-2 if I need it. But the 4-2-3-1 would be a good idea because we've got Fabinho and Vidal, so they could be 2 defensive sort of types of midfielders, and this is how I would play it in game. So the back 4 as it normally would be, Fabinho and Vidal as my 2 DMs, ZLATAN as a central cam because he's slow but he's right behind the striker, Alessandrini out on the left, he's left-footed, Kaká out on the right, he's right-footed, he's also got pace as well. Everyone thinks he's slow, but he's not. He's actually really quick. He's just got low stamina. And then, of course, Keita up front. But that could change. I could figure it out and do stuff differently and stuff as I gel with the team. I still have the crazy substitutes on the bench that I can pick from if Kaká runs out of steam or if Keita's not performing or something. Like, I feel like we're in a good spot right now with the team, and I'm really happy that we've unlocked ZLATAN and that we've unlocked Keita, balde, diao. They seem extremely cheap for what I've done. I've basically grinded the game. I spent a bit on a couple of the SBCs. You know, marquee matchups for Fellaini was expensive, but so be it. Like, it's not as expensive as what buying a 90 rated Zlatan would be on the market, right? I think I nearly broke even from that marquee matchups as well. The packs were actually fairly kind to me, and I reckon it cost me about 20k in the end rather than the 55, 60k that everyone was saying it was costing. So people forget that you can sell the stuff from the reward packs, and that's actually, there's your cost of Fellaini. So I reckon it cost about 15, 20k for me. So yeah, like it hasn't been a huge expense. We've also got keita, balde, diao as well. The only real expense has been time, you know, grinding away at the games, getting the specific challenges done, and that's exactly what I wanted from this promo. And it hasn't, I don't think it's really lived up to what people had hoped for right at the start, because I wanted more of that. I wanted more of the weekly objectives where it says play this many games of FUT this week. I wanted it to tell me to score 50 goals this week or 100 goals this week on FUT in order to force me to actually play the game and see what I could do, you know, earn these players rather than just having to complete an SBC to unlock a player, which is, you know, slightly unfortunate. So I had a very small amount of time to play some, you know, I was going to play one game, but the guy rage quit in the 25th minute. So I thought, you know what, I'll go into a second game. You'll have seen that first one in the background where I got a couple goals with our new players, so that's great. And I go 1-0 down in a very, very laggy or delayed game here in the second one. You could tell my opponent was feeling it as well, because his pass accuracy was abysmal, but we were both struggling. And eventually I sort of got through and scored a really nice goal with keita, balde, diao. And he runs off in my EA Sports influencer kit. I really like that purple and blue kit, man. It's really nice. I'm surprised, actually, that one never came out for you guys to get as well. But then again, I suppose, I don't know why, you know, I guess just for game changers only. It would have been nice for everyone to been able to get it, I guess, but maybe that's just an exclusive. There's so many kits now anyway, it doesn't really matter, right? I change them all the time. I nearly scored with Zlatan, little roulette and stuff here and there, and it didn't quite work out. But from a resulting corner is where I do get my head on it. And that's what Zlatan's going to be able to bring to the team, is that aerial ability from corners. Like, I've said this in a couple of videos where I've already tested him out on my main account, saying I typically don't try to use Zlatan as like an aerial man, like a target man, because it's a waste, you know? He's actually so good on the ball and stuff that I try not to play him like that, but every now and again, from like corners, you know, what else are you going to do? He's just a great option for a header at the front post. So Zlatan takes the shot there, parried out by Buffon, and Alessandrini hits it first time, and he is a Frenchman, and that is one of the weekly objectives halfway done. I need to score 2 goals with Frenchmen, as like first time shots in order to unlock a 20 match informed Giroud. I'm not that bothered about him. I don't necessarily need him, but it would be cool to complete the challenge to then have him to test out if we ever need to in the future. So we're 4 out of 16 games. We're a quarter of the way there on the games played this week. I will attempt to complete that by the end of the week. And then we are halfway there towards getting that Giroud, like I said. Still don't know what to do with these guys. Salah, Son and Firmino. I'm sure there's like nearly 1 million coins in those players right there, maybe 800k, I'm not too sure, but there's a lot of coins tied up in those 3 players, which I don't necessarily need to sell. Maybe we chop and change between the teams. I'm out of squad fitnesses, so maybe I need to start doing little fitness rotation and stuff. I'm hoping that there's a real reason to play the game soon, in the, you know, when TOTS comes out. In the last couple of years, we've had those tournaments where we try and win a TOTS player. If that's the case, we have real reason to play the game, and I will start to figure out what my final squad will be for FUT this year and stuff, and we will go on from there. But guys, that is the end of the episode. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you're feeling generous, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a great day, most importantly, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.